Have you noticed your memory slipping, even just a little? Over 55 million people around the world are now living with dementia, and one of the quietest causes might be sitting in your medicine cabinet. Not a disease, not genetics, but something you were told was helping you. You've probably heard it before. It's just aging. A few missed names, slower recall, moments that feel foggy. But what if aging wasn't the full story? What if something you trusted, something prescribed, was quietly accelerating the very thing you feared? 1. Unease Rising. There are medications many of us take without a second thought. They've been in our cabinets for years, for allergies, for sleep, for cholesterol, for mood. They came from doctors, from trust, from moments when we just wanted relief. And so, we never questioned. But over time, something subtle began to shift. You forget a word mid-sentence. You walk into a room and wonder why you're there. You start writing reminders on notes, then forget where you placed the note. You laugh it off. Aging, you say. Everyone goes through this. But then, you hear a story. A neighbor's partner developed memory loss quickly. They weren't even that old. They were on medications, yes. But who isn't? You start to wonder. What if it's not just the passing of time? What if something you take every morning or every night is quietly altering how your brain connects? Recent research has begun pointing in a direction many of us didn't expect. Not just diseases, not just genes, but the compounds we swallow daily without pause. Some medications interfere with neurotransmitters, chemical messengers that help your brain form and retrieve memories. Others lower protective barriers, making the brain more vulnerable to aging. One class of drugs suppresses a chemical called acetylcholine, essential for learning, focus, and memory. When it drops too low, it's not just senior moments anymore. It's cognitive confusion. And the tricky part is, these medications aren't rare. They're common, trusted, often over the counter. So, no. It might not just be your age. It might be your cabinet. 2. Statistic shock. One class of medications stands out in the research again and again. They're called anticholinergics, and their link to memory loss is no longer a whisper. It's measurable. In one study, long-term use of these drugs was shown to increase the risk of dementia by more than 50%. That's not speculation. That's published. So what are they? Many seniors take them without even realizing. Common names include Benadryl, Dramamine, some sleep aids, and even older types of antidepressants. They're not dangerous in the short term, but over years, silently, they do something critical. They block a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. This chemical is essential for brain function. It helps you form memories, focus, retain new information, and even stay alert during conversations. Imagine your brain is a city, and acetylcholine is the electricity grid. Anticholinergic drugs, they dim the lights bit by bit. So gradually, you don't even notice until the city flickers in confusion. And the worst part? They often disguise themselves as helpful. A medication to help you sleep through the night, another to calm nausea, one to ease anxiety, all solving one surface problem, while quietly disconnecting you from your sharpest self. Most people don't connect the dots. You wake up groggy, forgetful, or foggy, and you assume it's age, it's stress. But what if it's not that simple? This isn't about panic, it's about recognition. Because once you know what's interfering, you can start giving your brain back what it needs to thrive. 3. Soft healing begins. But here's what most people forget. Your brain isn't fragile, it's adaptive, it responds. Even after decades of quiet stress, it's still looking for a reason to repair. You don't need a prescription to begin healing. You need small, consistent signals that say, I'm ready to nourish you differently now. Start with fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel. These aren't just healthy proteins. They're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the building blocks of brain cell membranes. When your brain is inflamed or foggy, omega-3s act like firefighters, cooling the silent burn and restoring the membrane's flexibility. Next, berries, especially blueberries and blackberries. They may be small, but they carry compounds called anthocyanins, which cross the blood-brain barrier and help protect neurons from damage. Think of them as tiny shields, guarding your memory from oxidative stress. And don't forget the greens. Leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, and collards provide folate, lutein, and vitamin K, nutrients linked to slower brain aging and even stronger cognitive performance in older adults. A handful a day is like a quiet investment in mental clarity. But nutrition isn't just about food, it's about rhythm, the rituals of choosing what heals you, again and again, even when no one's watching. A walk after breakfast, a glass of water before coffee, the moment you sit with a meal and thank your body for showing up today. These aren't grand changes, they're tiny conversations with your brain, reminding it, I'm still here, and I still care. 4. Hope. This isn't about blaming the past, it's about offering your mind a gentler future, because the truth is, you didn't fail your memory, you just weren't told what it needed to stay strong. You weren't given the full story. You were given pills for symptoms, not support for systems. Quick fixes for sleep, pain, or digestion, but no one mentioned how those same fixes might slowly blur the edges of who you are. So, let's start again. Not with guilt, not with panic, but with a slower breath and a simpler plan. What if healing isn't loud? What if it's quiet and consistent? A warm meal with greens instead of a rushed breakfast. A moment of stillness before you reach for your phone. Reading the back of the bottle, just once, with curiosity, not fear. You don't need to change everything. You just need to hear yourself again. And maybe that means fewer pills, more laughter, less multitasking, more eye contact. Maybe it means adding something small, like a walk after dinner or soaking your feet before bed, instead of turning to a second tablet. Because when the brain begins to feel safe, it remembers how to focus again. It learns to trust again. It begins to say softly, I can still connect. I'm not broken, I just needed space. And the best part? That space is something you can choose, one gentle day at a time. Maybe it wasn't just age. Maybe your memory didn't fade. It simply got tired of being pushed, medicated, and ignored. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange fog. That moment when the word is there, but not quite. And the quiet question that follows. Is this normal? What if it isn't decline, but a signal? A signal that your brain doesn't need another pill. It needs breath, rhythm, care. You don't have to fight to be sharp. You just have to stop dimming the light. And if no one said it before, let me say it now. You're not losing your mind. You're remembering your power to protect it. You didn't forget on your own. You were never given the full truth. But now, you are. And that changes everything. If this helped lift even a little fog, comment, still here, so we know you're walking this path too. Next time, the everyday oils that quietly protect your brain after 60, and the one that might be doing more harm than good.